Good morning and welcome to this week's eVetSites orientation session. You should be seeing a blue orientation session website on your screen. If you don't see that, or if you're having any trouble hearing me or viewing anything at any time, feel free to put that into the group chat. You can also call this number at any time if you're having any problems. If at any point during the orientation you have a question or you'd like me to go over something again, please feel free to put that into the question screener or the group chat, and I'm happy to get to those as they come in. Also, if you have anything on your particular website that you'd like me to take a look at any point, go ahead and put your domain name into the chat, and I can pull up your website directly and go through anything that you might be interested in. So today we're just doing a general orientation, learning how to use the editor, what functions we have available, go through some of the features that we offer, and then last but not least, we'll talk a little bit about makeovers and what that looks like. So to get started, if you want to follow along with your website, you will come down here. You'll notice there's a little gray key at the bottom of your site. If you click on that, it's going to ask you for your username and password. Username is always administrator, that's all lowercase. Password will be either the temporary one that you were emailed if you're on a trial, or whatever you've changed it to if you've already updated it. You'll notice it says you're successfully logged in once you've put that in, and then you will see your editing functions up at the top. That lets you know that you are logged into the website. You can log out at any time with this button over here. The website will automatically log you out if you do forget. I think it's about 30 minutes after your login session that it will just go ahead and bump you out. And more than one person can be logged in at once from multiple computers. You can also log in from home, from the office, wherever it is that you are. This is always available to you. Just go to your domain name, use that little key at the bottom, and that'll bring you into the editor. So I first want to start by just explaining the different parts of the website. Every website will have the same different sections, and then I'll show you how to edit each one of those sections. So first, you have your header, which is going to be the very top part of the website, this section right here. And that will look the same on every single website. You're always going to have that top header section. Right here, we have what's called a template photo. And you can have these rotating. You can have these spanning the entire site, depending on what theme you're on. And I'll get into a little bit more of that in just a moment. Right here, we have our website menu. So this is going to be a directory of every page that you have in your website. And you have full control of this. You can remove pages, you can add pages, you can move pages around, and I'll show you that in just a little bit. Right here you have what's called the common content section. Depending on what template you're using, this area can move around. In this particular theme, it's right below the menu, and this section appears on every single page. Down here we have the footer, and it's just this small section down here where it says our policies, your privacy. And again, each one of these sections can look different on different templates. It can look different depending on any customizations we've done, but all of those sections will appear on every website. The other thing to note about those sections is that everything I just pointed out appears on every single page. So no matter what page you're on, if you go to About Us off of the home page, you're still going to see your header, your menu, your common content, and your footer. That's important because that means that those sections are really important to highlight anything important about your clinic. So those areas are going to stand out to your clients. It's going to be what they see on every page. So that's where you really want to highlight your important key information. So to edit those sections, you're going to use this Admin Home button towards the top right, and that's going to open up this screen here. This is the administration area of the website. This is kind of the back end where you can make most of the changes to your website. This is where you can add email accounts if you have email capability with us. And if you have any questions about whether or not you can have email with us, feel free to put that in the chat. This is where you can edit your account information. You can change your entire template, and I'll get to that in just a moment. And then this is where you can edit those sections I just pointed out. So if you go to Administration, which is this tab right here, you have site header content, you have site footer content, and you have site common content. So those are those 3 sections I just pointed out that appear on every single page. So anytime you want to edit those sections, you do that through here. So jumping into the header, this is what the editor looks like. So now I'm in the editor of the header section. So our editor works a lot like Microsoft Word. You have all these different functions for your fonts. You can bold, italicize, change the actual font family, change the font size, change alignment, change colors. This is where you can add photos. You can change the formatting. So all of that is controlled through this editor here. Obviously, anytime you make a change, you want to make sure that you hit this update button. But for the header, one thing that I did want to point out is what you want to include here. So obviously, it's important that you have your clinic name, your contact information, which is over here, your phone number, really important to have at the top of your website. When you are on a mobile device, that phone number is also going to appear at the very top. You'll notice right now this phone number is a link that you can actually click on. That means that if you're on a mobile device, you can just click on that phone number and it will call the clinic. To do this, you just highlight the phone number. So after you've typed it into the editor, you just highlight it. You right-click with your mouse. You go to link, which is this first option here. And in this URL field, you put TEL : your phone number with no spaces. What that's going to do is tell the system that this is now a link and that it's a telephone number that goes to this phone number. You hit OK. It's going to create a clickable link. And you can always test this after you've updated this on your mobile device and just make sure that it is working click to call and that it's the correct phone number. You can add social media icons to this area if you'd like. Your logo is very important to put up here. So if you have a logo for your clinic, you want to put it somewhere in this area here. People usually like to do that to the right or the left of their clinic name. And one thing to note about that is if you don't have a logo already for your clinic, or if you have one that you're not too crazy about, we do have designers here that can create a new logo for you or tweak an existing one. So all we need from you, if we're starting from scratch, is what ideas you may have. So if you want a cat or a dog or specific colors, and we can go ahead and create some options for you that you can then choose from. If you have an existing logo, you just have to send that over to us. Let us know what you want to change about it. Even if it's just sharpening it, we can do that for you, send it back, and get it added to your website. Adding a logo is really important to get your website looking customized. It gives it that personal feel, and it just makes you stand out. The next part I'm going to go to is the common content area. So that's common content. Again, we jump into the editor here. It looks exactly like it did in the header, except now we're in that common content section. And again, this section can move depending on what template you're on. So it might be underneath the menu on the left. It might be underneath the menu on the right. It might be down above the footer. So this section can move around. What do you want in your common content? This is a great place to put your hours of operation, any social media icons, any important links. If you have an online pharmacy or a pet portal, this is a great place to put those buttons. So anything like that where you want your clients to be able to click on something easily, a requested appointment button, this is a great place for that. Care credit, a directions link, anything like that, this is great. So this can be more in-depth contact information, and you can have these different buttons linking to either resources inside of your website or resources outside of your website. Jumping to the footer. So right now, we start you off with your trial with just a policies and privacy link. You are obviously welcome to remove those or just change this section completely. A lot of people like to do different links in this area. They like to put buttons or links to any associations that they're a part of, or they just put their contact information here with maybe an interactive map. And I'll show you some examples of what that looks like. So again, just another area that your clients are going to see on every page. Great place to highlight any important information that you want to stand out. So let's go back to admin home. And now I want to talk about changing the entire template. So changing the template means you are going to manipulate the entire website. You're going to change the overall look of how everything is laid out, the colors, the photo. You have the option to change just one of those items or all of them. So if I go to this section here, I see current template. This is telling me what template I'm currently on. So right now I'm on Bamboo, and then I have the option to change my template right here. This is now our template selector. This is every theme that we currently have available, and these are all mobile responsive. That means that whether you're on a tablet or a cell phone, these templates are going to automatically resize and shrink, and you don't have to worry about any of the formatting or anything. That's all just done automatically. So these are what we have to choose from. You can hover over them to get a larger view of what they look like. And you'll notice that you can see basically the bones of the website. You don't want to get too hung up on the colors or the photos that you see here because all of that can be edited. You're basically just looking at the overall layout. So you're choosing where you want your menu, where you want your common content, and obviously your header and your footer are always going to appear at the top and bottom. So in this case, Bonsai, we have our menu and our common content on the left, just like we do on the theme we have now. On this one here, we have our menu at the very top, and it's you can see it there. It says home, layout, templates, all of that. So that's all across the top of the website. Then we have our header. Then we have our common content and footer at the bottom of the website. Still appears on every page. It's just moved around a little bit. This one here, again, menus at the very top. Common content is on the right. This one, the menu appears right below the header. Common content and footer are at the bottom. So I'm just going to go ahead and select a new template just to show you what it looks like. So I'm going to select Cottonwood here. After you've selected a template, it's then going to ask you to select a template photo to go with it. So this is where you have the option to pick from our stock photos that we have available. You can also select no image if you don't want one to appear at all. You can also email us any of your own photos that you might want to use in the template. So you can have just one, or you can have several rotating through, and I'll show you an example of what that looks like at the end. So you want to send us pictures that are high quality, good resolution. You want them to be taken in landscape format, and we can go ahead and plug those in for you. And that's also a great way to give your website a personal, customized feel. Clients like it when they can go to your website and see pictures of you, or pictures of your clinic, or pictures of your doctors. So that's a great option to really give it that personal touch. So once you've selected a photo, I'll go ahead and select these kittens. After you've done that, you're going to be asked to select a color style. Don't get too worried if you don't see a color here that you love. We can plug in any custom color that you might want. So if you have a particular paint color or scrub color, or you want us to match your logo perfectly, we can do that for you. So we can grab those color codes and we can bake that into the code of the website. So if you don't love any of the colors here, no problem, we'll work with you on that. To get me started, I'm going to go ahead and just pick this gray color. So now I have switched to Cottonwood Style 17, and I used to be on the Bamboo. So now there's this button here that says back to your website. That quickly takes you back out, and you can see any changes that you've just made. So now I'm back out on my website, and if you are not on a trial right now, if your website is live and up and running, your clients can see any changes that you make. So it's important to remember that and make sure that if you do make any changes, you go back out, sweep through your website, make sure nothing looks weird, make sure nothing got skewed differently. We can always help you make adjustments if anything got messed up. And you can always go back into Admin Home and switch back to the theme you were just on if you want to go back to what it was. So now I have this new theme, and I can start editing my website now. So you can change the theme at any time, even if you've had a website with us for years, but you want to go ahead and change the template, that's always an option. You can always jump into Admin Home and change the template. You can also just change the colors or just that picture. So now that we're out on the home page, I want to start talking about editing the actual content of the website itself. So if you click on Edit Content from any page, you're going to see the content that's on that page within the editor. So this allows you to now make edits to the home page because that's the page that we're on. So you can come into here, you can obviously add any text that you want. You can use your keyboard to remove any text that you may not want anymore. You can bold or italicize, manipulate the fonts however you want. All of that's done through here. You can also add pictures, remove pictures, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So let's say we wanted to remove this picture. All I've done is highlight it. It's now completely blue, and I'm just hitting delete on my keyboard. And now that picture is removed. I could hit save at this point, go back out to the home page and just have no picture there. But I want to go ahead and upload my own picture and put it into the website. So what I did was I made sure my cursor was blinking where I wanted my picture. And I have two options here. I can either click this button, which is Insert Edit Image, or I can right click where my mouse is blinking and I can do Insert Edit Image from here. So either one is going to get you to this screen here. And this is where you are telling the system what picture you want to plug into that section. So next to this source field, we have this little icon. I clicked on that. I now have my file manager open. The file manager houses all of our stock photos, and this is also where you can upload your own images. So if I wanted to use one of the stock photos, I would just click on one of these folders. So I want one with a dog and a cat. I'm just going to select this. Now that's telling me I've selected this image, and these are the dimensions of it. I also have an option to add an image description. So I'm going to go ahead and put dog and cat, eVetSites. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit OK here just to show you what this looks like right off the bat. Okay, so I've added my picture. There's a few weird things happening. I have a rather large photo. My text is now shoved down to the right. So to change this, I'm going to go ahead and double click on the picture. That opens this window back up, and now I can make some changes. First thing I want to do is change the size of this. So right now my dimensions are 400 by 400. I'm going to go ahead and cut that in half. So I'm going to do 200. Anytime you change the first dimension, all you have to do is click outside of this box, so just right here, let's say, and that's going to resize the other portion to constrain it properly. So that means that it'll automatically resize the other half, and that will ensure that you don't have any skewed photos. It doesn't change the resolution. And I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. So now I've cut that photo in half. I still have my text down at the bottom. I'm going to right click again. And now you'll notice there's this advanced tab. From there, I can do some changes in here as well. I can add a border to the photo if I'd like. I can choose my border color. What I'm going to do is align the photo to the left, which means I want my picture on the left with my text wrapping around it on the right. And I'm going to give it a right margin of 5 pixels. What that's going to do is allow some space between the picture and the text. You'll notice right now the welcome to orientation session is bumping right along the edge of the picture. By adding that number there, I'm going to push it away a little bit. This number 5, you can do any number between 0 and 20. This is going to be read in pixels, so the system will know to move it over depending on what number you put here. Obviously, the larger the number, the larger the gap. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with 5 and hit save. So now I've added a picture. I have resized it. I've told it to move to the left with the text wrapping around on the right, and I've given it a little bit of a buffer. I could always go back in, add a larger buffer, make the photo larger if I wanted. All of that can be redone as many times as I want, but right now I think I'm happy with this. Going back into edit content, just to show you again, if you go into here, this takes you to the file manager. You can also upload your own picture here. You can either drag your files in, or you can click add files to search your computer. Then you just click upload, and then after you've done that, you just insert the picture. You can upload any photo that you'd like. We just ask that it's not one that you've grabbed from Google, that it's one that either you've taken yourself or that you have the license to use. So if you do end up grabbing a picture off of the internet, you just want to be aware that you can be fined for that. Getty Images can send you a letter asking you to take it down and asking you to pay a fine for having it up. So you just want to make sure that you're really careful about what you're putting on, and it's usually safest to just put on pictures that you've taken yourself or that you know who's taken the picture. So closing that up. So now talking about links a little bit. So you also have the option to link any text or images. So you can link a photo and have that go to any page that you'd like, or you can link text. So let's say I wanted pharmacy to link to my pharmacy. What I'm going to do is highlight that text, right click, and go to link, just like we did with that telephone number in the header. And URL, I just want to put in whatever my URL is. So let's say it's vetsource.com/eVetSitesPharmacy. This is asking the text to display. It's already in there as pharmacy. And then the last important thing here is target. So this is asking if you want it to open in the same window or a new window. I'm going to go ahead and say new window. And the reason I'm doing that is this is an outside resource. If I was going to a page within my own website, I would select from this link list, and this shows you every page within the menu. And then I would select none, because I just want it to open up in the same window. My users aren't leaving my website, they're staying within my website, so that's fine. I'm going to hit OK, save. Now the word pharmacy is a link. I can click on that. It opens up in a new tab. That's obviously not a real URL, so it didn't go anywhere, but I still have my website open, and then my new pharmacy tab opened in a new window. You can also link images the same way, so you would just highlight the image, right-click, link, and you can have this going to wherever you want. If you want it to go to your Facebook page, your Instagram, and then target none if it's within your website, and new window if it's not. So that's how links work, and adding photos. And then obviously for the text, you can just manipulate this however you'd like right within this window. So you can remove words, you can add text, and then just make sure you save anytime you've made an edit. Jumping over now to Edit Special. So we just talked about the edit content section. So that's going to be any page you want to just edit the photos or the text. You'll jump into Edit Content and you'll make those changes and then hit Save. Edit Special is going to be for special template pages that don't necessarily get edited through Edit Content. So one example of that are the Contact Us and Hours pages. So if I go to the Hours page, you'll notice I have this text here, and then I have this table with these hours lined up. So if I go into Edit Content, the only thing I see here are view our hours below, call us to make an appointment. I don't actually see that hours table. This is giving me a clue that this is a special page type with a special editing function. So I can switch to Edit Special, and now I see this here. So it says select your hours of operation. I can choose from this drop down. You can mark a day as closed if you're not open, hit save, and now that's reflected here. You can also get to that by just clicking Edit Special directly from there, and that'll open up that section. If I wanted to edit this little message here, I would just go into Edit Content, and I can add whatever I want here. So I could say holiday hours are subject to change. Call us to know more. Anything that you wanted to put there. If you're closed for a lunch break, if you have certain doctors that are only on staff certain days, this is where you can highlight any messages like that. So this one has an Edit Content and an Edit Special feature, and you would need to go to Edit Special to edit the actual table of hours, and then Edit Content to add any special messages. Contact Us page is the same way. So Edit Content, is going to get you to that message above, and then switching to Edit Special, I now have my contact information that gets pulled into that map. So any changes you make here will automatically be reflected in that Google map that's there. So if I were to change the address to what our real address is, now my map shows the real address and what's around it. And this is an interactive map. You can zoom in, you can zoom out. So anytime you move your clinic or you need to change any of this, you would do all of that through Edit Special. This page also comes with an online form where clients can fill this out to get in touch, they submit, and it gets emailed to you. That's also controlled through Edit Special. So this is the contact email. That's the email address that any of those forms will be submitted to. If you don't want that form showing on your website, you can just delete that email address, and that inactivates the form. So now it's completely missing from the bottom. And you can always re-add it by just putting your email address back in. So that's Contact Us and Hours. Pet Library, same thing. You have Edit Content, which controls that section at the top. And then Edit Special is where you can actually select your species for the library. You can add new ones at any time or remove any existing. So if you suddenly started seeing birds and exotics, and just hit Update, close. Now your library will contain those new species that you've selected. The pet library comes with all of our eVetSites websites. You can come into here, and this is embedded within your web page. So your clients just have to click on that. They come into here, they can search whatever topic they want. So if they want to search fleas and hit search, this is going to show them every article on fleas within Veterinary Partner, and they can read the entire article right within your website. They never have to leave. They can also print it or email it to themselves, and then they can come back up here and search any new topic. You can also click on a species to view search results alphabetically. So that's really helpful. So again, this is available with every eVetSites website, and you can put a link to this from your home page or from your common content or even just within the menu. Our services is another page that we start you out with, and this is one that you're really going to want to comb through. So this is a list of veterinary services that we start you off with, and then you want to make sure that you either remove any services that you don't offer at your clinic, and that you add any that may not be on this list that you do offer. So if you do acupuncture and we don't have that on here, you want to make sure that you go in here and add that to your list. Again, you know, if you don't offer dentistry, you want to make sure that you get that removed so that clients don't think you do. So this is also going to be controlled through Edit Content. Come into here. If you don't offer identification, you can just come into here and remove that, and that will wipe it off that list. You also have the option to add any personal text to this. So if you want to add something different for anesthesia, you could just come into here and put your custom text about what you want to write about anesthesia. We also have these little service icons here that you can add to your website. Those do come with our trial websites. If you see one here that you don't want, you can just remove it, just click and delete. If you see that there isn't one that you do need, just let us know and our designer can create one for you. Okay. I do want to jump over to Edit Menu now. So we've talked about Edit Content, Edit Special. Now Edit Menu is going to control our menu, which is the layout of all of our pages within the website. So Edit Menu, we now come into here. We can see every page that we have on the website. If we click these drop downs, we can see pages that are underneath these existing tabs. You have the option to add pages. So you can add a top level menu item, which means it will appear in that list right within your menu. And you can put what you want it to display. So if you wanted it to be a boarding page, This page slug will automatically get created. That's the URL for that page. The system automatically plugs that in based on what you've titled it. Page type is pretty self-explanatory. It starts you off with basic web page. If you're just going to be doing basic text and images, just leave it as that. If you want it to be a special page, you can choose from these. So for instance, we have contact us, a blog page type if you have a blog that you want to plug in. We have hours of operation if you wanted to add a new hours page, the contact us page with the map if you wanted to add an online form. So all of that is right within this drop down, and you can choose from those, and then save menu information will add it to the menu. If you want to add a page underneath an existing menu item, you just expand this out. You can do add sub-level menu, and then you can add your service type there, whatever it is that you're trying to add, and then what that's going to do is add it underneath that existing menu item. You also have the option to hide pages. So why would you want to hide a page? If you're working on it and you're not quite ready for the public to see it, you would want to keep it hidden. If it's something like a community announcement or a holiday themed page that you don't want up year-round, then you can hide it when you don't want it up and then just unhide it when you're ready to take it live. How you do that is, let's say we wanted to hide adoptions for the time being. You just select the page you're trying to hide, and then down here it says hidden page, yes. Hide from search engines, yes. So hide from search engines means that somebody wouldn't be able to search for eVetSites adoptions and be able to find it. It would just be hidden from search engines as well as hidden from the website itself. Hit save here. After you've hidden the page, you'll notice that it now appears in parentheses. So it still lives on the website, it's just not available to the public. You do have to be logged in as an administrator to see it. So anytime a page is hidden, it will appear in these parentheses. So you'll notice forms is also hidden. And if you go there, you can still edit the page, you can still work on it, it's just not available for your clients to see. And then whenever you're ready to actually take it live, just go back in there and select no for these. That will take out those parentheses, and now your clients can see it. You can do that with any one of your pages. Just make sure that you don't do it on the home page, because what that will do is if somebody tries to go to your website, it will actually prompt them to log in because it wants you to be an administrator to see the website. So just make sure you never hide your home page. If you are trying to work on your home page and you don't want clients to see the changes, you do have a few different options there that I'll talk about in a few minutes. But basically, you never want to hide it. You either want to make changes in a time frame that maybe clients aren't really looking at your website, or you want to create a copy site, which I'll talk about shortly here. So that's how you would edit the menu. Last thing I really want to show you are forms pages. So these are pages that we provide with all of our websites. We start you off with some basic ones. We have new client, prescription refill, change of address, request appointment, and then you can add any form that you might want to the website. If you wanted to have a boarding form, if you wanted to have a release form, you can add those to the website and then control what types of questions you're asking of your clients. You also have the option to edit any of these ones that we started you off with. So if you wanted to edit the new client form, you would just click on that page. If you go to edit content, you're going to see the message above the form. Edit special is going to get you to the form itself. This is where you can actually edit the fields, move them around, delete them. That's all controlled through this edit special. So form name, this is going to look the same for every form that you're editing. So you have your form name, send form to. This is the email address that you want any successful submissions to be sent to. You also have the option to do multiple email addresses here. You would just separate those by a comma. This is going to be the message that your clients see after they've submitted the form. You can customize this however you'd like. You can ask them to call you when they're done. You can put an image here. So again, this is just like our basic editor on any other page, so you can change this to be whatever you'd like. Down here is where you get into the actual fields and where you can move them around. So you can use these arrows here to move fields up and down. You can click this X to remove a field. You can use this box over here to check whether or not a question is required. So if you don't need them to provide a phone number, you could just keep that unchecked. And then you can add new fields, which is right up here. So you can add some of our preset questions. So we have name, address, phone number, things like that. You also can just do text areas and add your own question in. So I put that one as going to the bottom. And then you can put in whatever you want the question to be, make it required or not, hit update, and then that will appear wherever you've put it inside of the form. Again, your clients would fill this out. They have to verify the reCAPTCHA. This helps cut down on spam submissions. And then they would just hit submit, and it would go to the email address or addresses that you have provided in this field here. You can also view form submissions through Edit Special. It says View Results here. Any results that you've had come in, it will show you the name, the date that it was sent in, and then all of the information along with it. You can also download that as an Excel file if you want to view it as all one page in an Excel sheet. So that's how forms work. One last thing that I did want to mention is the emergencies page. So underneath Contact Us, you should have an emergencies page. You want to make sure that you do update this information to be whatever emergency clinic you refer to. So when we start you off with a trial, we do go ahead and put your own clinic information into this section, and that's because we're just assuming that you see emergencies. We don't know which clinic you actually like to refer to. So you want to make sure that you come to this page, go to Edit Special, and put in whatever ER clinic you like to refer clients to. Okay, so last but not least, I want to talk about Makeovers really quick. So if you are on a trial and you just want help making your website look the way you want it, please feel free to always reach out to us. You can call us at this phone number. You can email us at support@eVetSites.com. We're happy to help with the formatting, the layout, any visions that you might have. Please let us know. We're here to make your website what you want it to be. So just reach out to us, let us know what you're trying to do, and then we're happy to help. If you've had a website with us for a while and you've just, gotten sick of the look of it, or you're really ready for an update and you want to really refresh the entire look of it, we can help you with that. So again, when I was talking about hiding the home page, you don't want to do that. What we can actually do for you is we can create what's called a copy site. So what that is a duplicate copy of your website that we then work on behind the scenes. The beauty of that is that nobody can see the changes we're making, and you can tweak it as many times as you'd like. So we would have a .eVetSites.net domain name. So up here you wouldn't see your .com, you would see your .eVetSites.net, and we would work on that website, getting it looking how you want, all behind the scenes. And then as soon as you're happy with it, we just take it live in place of your existing site. There is no charge for a website makeover. This is all part of our hosting fee. We want to make sure that all of our clients are really happy with their websites and that they're aware of what we can offer right now. We do have a lot of new features. We have a lot of new templates, and there's a lot that we can do with your website. So we want to make sure that you're taking advantage of that and that you really love what your website looks like. So if you are interested in this, if you're interested today, you can put that into the chat, and I'm happy to get started on it. Or you can call or email us with this contact information here. And that can be done at any time, and you can do this as many times as you'd like. So ways that we would customize your makeover site, or even just your trial site if you're still working on your trial. I mentioned the logo creation, so we can create a logo with you, and I'll show you an example of one. So this is Willa Kenzie. They had us create this logo here. They let us know that they wanted a cat and a dog and what colors they were interested in. They gave us their slogan for their website or for their clinic, and we went ahead and created that for them. And it's now on their website and their business cards, and they're using it to market themselves across the board. So that's a great option if you don't have a logo already. Google Fonts. So if you want to pull in any custom fonts into your website, you have this entire directory of almost 1,000 fonts that you can choose from. We can pull in any one of these to your website, and you can also see what these look like. If you hover over one that you like, you can do custom, and you can put in your clinic name and see the different variations and apply that to all fonts if you want. And then you can sweep through here and pick which one you like. You can also do one font for headers and one font for the body. So if you wanted one font to be used throughout the whole website and then another one for highlighting certain things, we can do that as well. So you have this whole directory to choose from, and you can get there by going to fonts.google.com. Custom images are a great way to customize your website. Personalized buttons. So you can choose from the buttons that we have in our file manager, or you can reach out to us and let us know you're looking for a specific button, and we can get that added to your website. Custom colors. So I mentioned you don't have to feel pinned in by those colors that we have in the template update section. You can let us know what colors you want, and we can put those into the code. You want to make sure that you add any social media that you have and have that linking back to your website. Facebook offers widgets. They have different buttons, and you can put all of that into your website to really make it interactive for your clients. So now I just want to show you some different examples of eVetSites websites that we've been working on. I really want to showcase to you what we can do for you, the different options, and how different all of these templates can look. So the first one here, this is the Plum theme, and they've opted to have their header and their menu static. So as you scroll the page, those items stay up there at the top. They've selected some custom colors to go with those cat pictures. So they've got this brown here. They wanted a really minimal, clean look, and that's what we've given them here. They've got their services here, and then down here in their footer, they have a mini form for contacting. They have an address, contact information map, and then they have their hours and some online resources. So as you noted in the beginning, we start you off with the footer with just 2 basic links. This is what you can do with it if you want. So there's so much we can do within the editor to really get it looking how you're envisioning. We have Greenwich Animal Hospital. They have this large image with their clinic tagline sliding in. Again, we customized the colors to match their logo. We gave them these customized buttons with this hover effect. They've got their social media icons up here. Again, some custom buttons. And then they've just broken up their homepage into different sections on what they're trying to highlight. We also have these sliding testimonials that we can add to the website. So if you're interested in something like that, just let us know. We have Arden Animal Hospital. And you'll notice that these photos at the top are going to rotate. And these are images that they sent in to us of their own patients. And we just added those in as a little slideshow. So to give you an idea of what that would look like. And then they have some custom buttons as well. And then down here in the footer, they've done something similar to Wall and Paw Hawk with the map and the mini form and the contact information. Brander Mill, this is another one that we created the logo for, and then they've got a slideshow here, some custom buttons, and then down here in the footer, we've added some icons for them to highlight some information, and then they've got their social media. Family Veterinary Clinic, they have custom Google fonts, so they chose this one, and we put that throughout the website. They've got some text overlay on this picture. Different sections have different information that they wanted to highlight. And then down here, they have this virtual tour that they had created by a third-party service, and then we just got that added to the website. So if you ever have something like this created, that's great to go ahead and place on the website so your clients can take a tour and, you know, really walk through your clinic. We have this one. This also has that text sliding in, but obviously looks a lot different. They chose a different color scheme, but it's a very similar template and theme. They've just personalized it with the information that they wanted to highlight. We also have a new video theme that we have rolled out. So if you click on this, this is going to show you one video that we have. So we have these videos that play on a loop at the top of the website. You can also send us your own video if you have a video that you'd like to use within the template. Here's another example of that. So that's an option that we have available now as well. So that's everything that I wanted to show you today. So you learned the basic editing functions, the different parts of the website, how to edit basic pages, how to change your template, and then last but not least, how to do a makeover site if you're interested in that. So if you have any questions, please feel free to put that in the group chat at this time. If you think of a question later that you'd like to ask us, you can always call or email, and we're happy to help. Our email is just support@eVetSites.com, and our phone number is this 888 number up here. You can also find that on our help site, which is just eVetSitesHelp.com. You can also get to that from the website itself once you're logged in. So I'll stay on for a few more minutes to allow for any questions. If you want me to review anything again, please let me know. If you're interested in the makeover or you have any specific questions about your website, please feel free to go ahead and ask those, and I'm happy to help. Otherwise, you can go ahead and edit your website and just let us know if you have any problems or if we can help with anything. All right, thank you so much for your time today.